So we have a settlement in the U.S. women's national team's lawsuit against U.S. Soccer. Let's talk about it. My name is Nathan Laurie. If you are new here, we talk about the law and the facts. If you're about that life, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Now, to understand what's going on, we're going to need to do a quick and dirty recap. And if you want the full details, click the link and it will take you to my full breakdown of the lawsuit. That video has about 4 million views. So if you don't have time to click that video, here's the quick and dirty version. The women's national team sued the US Soccer Federation on the basis of gender discrimination and unequal working conditions. Now, initially the parties settled the working conditions claim, but went to trial on the gender discrimination pay claims. Now, a judge in California dismissed their claims of gender discrimination. See, the women's team argued that they were being paid less than the men for the same work, and the court found that that wasn't true. Those were lies. The court found that the women's national team was paid more than the men. Yes, they were paid more than the men per game and overall. So their rate of pay was higher and they got paid more money in aggregate. The court also found that US Soccer offered the women's national team the men's deal and the women's national team rejected it. So why did that happen? Well, the men's deal was a pay-to-play deal. So the men only got paid if they played in the game. They got no benefits and no guaranteed money. While on the other hand, the women negotiated for and got full benefits and guaranteed money no matter if they played or not. So later, when the women did the math and saw that they could have gotten more money if they would have taken the men's deal that they previously rejected, they sued US Soccer, yelling discrimination. So the court essentially said that you can't reject the men's deal when it was first offered to you, then agree to the deal that you have now and claim gender discrimination. It doesn't work that way. Here is exactly what the court said. This approach merely comparing what each team would have made under the other team's CBA. It is untenable in this case because it ignores the reality that the men's national team and the women's national team bargained for different agreements which reflect different preferences, and that the women's national team explicitly rejected the terms they now seek to retroactively impose on themselves. The first time the women's national team requested bonuses equivalent to those received by the men's national team was in January 2016. The United States Soccer Federation rejected that proposal, however, because the women's national team was not asking for a pay-to-play agreement similar to the men's national team. Instead, it was asking for all the upsides of the men's national team CBA, namely higher bonuses, without any of the drawbacks. No base salary. In May 2016, the United States Soccer Federation offered the women's national team a pay-to-play proposal similar to the men's national team CBA, but the women's national team rejected it, preferring an agreement that involves some elements of guaranteed compensation. But facts don't matter in our world anymore. So there was massive public pressure both by the mainstream media and by fans of the US Soccer for the women to be paid this extra money from nowhere. No one cared that the women's claims were essentially lies and that a factual analysis by the court showed that the women's national team's claims were nonsense. It was all about discrimination because the women's national team said so. The facts did not support their claim. And this pay discrepancy between the two teams got even worse. See, during COVID, the men got paid nothing because they had no guarantees. Remember, the men only got paid if they played in the game. And when COVID hit, they canceled all the games. So the men got paid nothing. But the women's team got paid multi-million-dollar deals. They got millions in salary and millions in benefits. Yet they were the ones claiming pay discrimination. Pretty awkward. So after the judge threw out their claims, the women appealed. So now 2 weeks before we were headed to arguments, the women's national team settled. So what are the terms of the settlement? Well, the women's national team, remember, are already getting paid millions more than the men's team, right? They're already getting paid more than the men's team. But now they're going to get more. What are they going to get? Well, essentially they're going to get an extra $24 million. It's going to be split up like this. $22 million is going to be split into individual amounts proposed by the players, and is going to be subject to the district court's approval. Now, that's about 1/3 of what they were seeking in the lawsuit. $2 million of that are going to go to benefit players in their post-soccer careers and charitable efforts to help, as they say, expand women's soccer. So essentially, the women asked for $66 million and they got $22 million. Not bad for them. But at the end of the day, it makes me kind of sad, because only thing this was just the women's national team understanding the power of the press, understanding the power of a left-wing media narrative that was sympathetic to their side. See, the media essentially just helped them get this extra $24 million. Think about, and no matter if you think I'm right-wing, left-wing, whatever, I really want you to think about what happened here. The women went into court and made factual allegations that they were being discriminated against because they were women, right? Those were factual allegations. When the judge looked at it and said, no, the facts that are presented to this court, it's clear that not only did you get paid more, right? We have the numbers, we have the data. You got paid more, not just because you played more games, but per game, you guys got paid more. Think about that. And now, because of all the public pressure, US Soccer has to pay them even more than the men, right? They're literally paying them $24 million on top of them already getting paid more, which is insane. But what do you think about this settlement? Do you think the women's national team deserves an extra $24 million on top of already getting paid more money? Was this case ever about gender discrimination? Now, I know the women's national team is out on Good Morning America today yelling, yes, we won, we won. They did win. They won because we live in a society where facts don't matter. If you tell anyone these facts and say, do you think US Soccer would, do you think they'll win? People are going to say no. Why should they win? They got paid more. Matter of fact, they got paid millions of dollars more just a year ago. And they're the ones being discriminated against. This channel isn't about pushing a narrative for the women's national team or against the women's national team. It's about letting you understand the truth. And the truth is that the women's national team got away with essentially highway robbery here, right? It's just clear. They screamed discrimination, had a very sympathetic press, write it all up as discrimination, made people believe they were being discriminated against. When the facts came out to show that it was absolutely not true, it didn't matter. And that, I think, is something that should concern us all, because facts should matter. And in this case, it doesn't seem like it does. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Was this the right call? Do you think the US Soccer Federation got it right? I'm going to say it. I think the US Soccer Federation got it wrong. But it's their money, and if they want to give it away, so be it. On to the next lawsuit. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'll check you later. Peace.